Hello and welcome to your build-up show of West Ham United against Hull City in the Carabao Cup, the battle of the two not quite good enough ownerships of the clubs. Gonzo, you're not feeling too good tonight, are you?
Oh, I'm all right. A bit under the weather, mate, but nothing. I'm sure a good victory will perk me up. You know what I mean. I've either that or a nice, I don't know, a nice lem sip or something, mate. I'll be fine, thank you.
Do you want to know what landed 5 minutes ago at Hammers Chat HQ?
I would love the team lineups for today.
Yeah, but a little bit of
something else.
Yeah, but it was to hide them in the lineups. I believe someone is making their debut tonight. So if someone was making their first start for West Ham tonight, who'd you like it to be? I could be wrong. We'll find out in 4 minutes if I'm wrong. But if they are, hypothetically, if they were, who would you like it to be?
Well, probably Dimitri Payet, but he's already made his debut once, so we can't have it again, I guess. But if it's a realistic wish, and we're looking at a young player.
Well, it's not you saying it, is it?
I was gonna, mate. I've been out the loop all day. I've been asleep on the sofa half the day. Anything could have happened. In fact, the thought did enter my mind for a second. Oh, have we signed old Tarkowski? Okay, so let's pick a young player. Now, do you mean full debut or debut?
Well, I'm not sure if
have they been on as a sub
I'm not sure
before?
if he's come on off the bench, but let's just put.
Oh, okay. So it's not Coventry because you'd know that. It's the striker.
No, he could have come on off the bench. I'm not going to give that one away.
The striker from Man U.
I don't believe it's him. I think it's a defender. I think it's a particular defender. Let's put it this way. I'm going to be happy if it's correct. So if you watch the preview,
so will I.
If you watch the preview, you'll know who it is.
It's the centre half. It's you, or is it? You wanted the left back as well.
Yeah, no, it's not the left back.
You were
it's the
greedy.
centre back. But we'll get on to it in 3 minutes anyway. How are you feeling about the cup game? How are you feeling about tonight's game? Your cup excitement building?
Yeah, looking forward to it, mate.
Tell you
Yeah,
what,
absolutely.
Though, you might happen. Going by what Boris has said earlier, the League Cup is not going to have fans at the ground. With the 6-month rule of thumb, the final's usually in February, isn't it? So.
It? I would sneak in. I've waited so many years. I would do some stuff. I'd pull some stunts, mate. I'd got some ninja skills and some. The fella that did the
Nightscape.
What's his Nightscape? He's doing all the running over the top. I might do a bit of that. Bit of parkour, bit of leaping, bit of.
You didn't have to do that to get into the London Stadium. You just opened the door.
That's true. Swim across the canal.
Yeah.
I think I feel rough today. Have a swim in that canal. See what that does.
Yeah, when you go into the London Stadium, you just walked up to Virex and just pulled the door back. You see his videos. He's breaking into all sorts of stuff, scaling chimneys and God knows what else. He's above the clouds in some videos. And the London Stadium, he just opens the door and he's.
That is true.
That's brilliant. For using the live chat asking for the stream, it's on the EFL player, just like the game against Charlton was. It costs £10, however, but it is good. It's good. Myself and Gonzo think it's worth the £10 because they're going to need the money, but also it's the quality of your stream's decent. When they turn up, when the commentator turns up, he didn't turn up till the 22nd minute last week, but it's good.
Carabao Cup. .live. That's the URL. CarabaoCup.live.
Yeah. Roger's saying he's paid the tenner. What do I do next? Roger, when you're there, when you're on the website, just scroll down to the West Ham. It'll say West Ham v Hull. On the right hand side where it used to say pay now or order now, it should now say watch. Just click that and you're on. Roger, if you've not got it working 10 minutes before kickoff, email us hammerschat@gmail.com and we'll do our best to help you. Not really our job, but we'll do our best to help you. Anyway, Gonzo, are you ready for some team lineups?
Yes, please.
Right, here we go. I'll rattle through the 11 for you. So Dan Randolph starts in goal as expected. We have a back. I believe it's a back four, but we'll discuss this in a second. Of Ben Johnson, Balbuena, Diop and Elise. A midfield two of Cullen and Snodgrass, with three in front of them of Lanzini, Yarmolenko and Anderson, with Sebastian Aller up front. I think it's fair. Do you think it's fair to assume it's the same formation as last week, just that Elise starting instead of Masuaku at left back?
Well, that's a weird one. Yeah, maybe. But I thought he looked quite good going forward. And in fact, I didn't know much didn't say much about him. I don't know anything about him. I watched him in that friendly, Ipswich maybe, and the commentator had said, "Oh, he's not really a defender. He plays in midfield." I don't know any better. And there was nothing that I saw in the performance that made me doubt that, because I looked at him, I thought, oh yeah, he is quite comfortable on the ball. So if he's playing on the left wing, on the left fullback, yeah, I would imagine he is technically adept enough to go and do that. So that would be interesting. It has to be, otherwise who's going to play left wing back if he's playing free at the back? It just doesn't seem to be anybody that would play left wing back there, unless it would be Snodgrass. You can't think that would happen, really. So yeah, I think so. I think that is the formation, and more or less the team that I particularly fancied, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it's not too.
It's only one player different.
It's not too far off. The personnel isn't too far off what I was hoping for. The formations, obviously the four at the back. At least at left back's a strange one. I would have liked to have seen him centre back and moved Diop to left back, just purely because I said, Diop, you're the senior player here. I get what Moyes is thinking. You get the two experienced guys in the middle of the pitch to help the youngsters out on the sides. But I'd almost rather not necessarily see Diop struggle, but I'd make Alisi as comfortable as possible and put him in his natural position, because he's already out of position, and so it becomes a little bit tricky then. Or he could have put Ashby on at right back and switched Ben Johnson to left back,
yes.
Or maybe Ben Johnson will play left back and he'll play Alisi right back. But he's very good on the ball. That's what I like about Alisi. He's very comfortable on the ball. He's got a good range of passing and stuff about him. And at the minute, Baptiste's getting... I feel Baptiste's getting all the hype in West Ham social media. Well, understandably, he's 16 years old. He's been playing pre-season for us. But Alisi's probably the one I expect to possibly make the grade at West Ham. I'd be disappointed if he doesn't make it at West Ham, to be honest with you. The rest of the 11 sort of picked itself, to be honest with you, after the Charlton game. There was an interesting comment though, Gonzo, on one of our videos. It was the whole preview, I think. I can't remember who it was. Apologies. It was a really good comment though. I noticed it.
Well, if it was an interesting comment, it was probably me, wasn't it?
Definitely wasn't you. Right. But I read the comments, and this is a compliment, because you read them all, and sometimes you just skim through them. But this one stuck in my head, obviously. And he said that he thinks the motivation of the players tonight will be lesser than it was last week, because they've turned up against Charlton, put in a really good performance after watching us get beat by Newcastle, and none of them got Masuaku apart. None of them got into the starting 11 for Arsenal. So I think he was trying to say, do you think their heads will have possibly dropped a little bit compared to what it was against Charlton?
That is an interesting point, yeah. I mean, it's hard to say. It all depends on what Moyes has said to them. But if he's going to sing the same song that he sang last week, then it just becomes less believable, doesn't it? If he said last week, you do well in this and you've got a real good chance of being in the team for Arsenal. Then if you say now do well here and you get a real good chance of being in the team for Wolves, which is inherently what the point was. Yeah, I mean, it loses some of its potency, doesn't it, saying that? I think you also made a good point when you said that Cullen, he had to get out of jail free with Cullen by not using Cullen on the bench for Arsenal. You said he would be able to say that we'll feature you're definitely starting in the League Cup. And I think you're absolutely right. But you're going to start running out of those sort of get out of jail free cards, if you like. So, yeah, I mean, this is interesting. This is interesting. Are they going to lack motivation? I'm not so sure. I still think they've got motivation. It's still in the transfer window as well, and I'm not entirely sure that everybody in that team has got their heart set on a long and illustrious career at West Ham United. So some of them are going to be playing for moves as well. So that'll keep a few of them up and interested for it.
The bench for West Ham tonight: Nathan Trott is on the bench as a sub goalkeeper. Ashby, who's the right back. Connor Coventry, the midfielder. Longello, the left back, which is interesting that Longello doesn't start. He'd rather have Alisi out of position at left back. Jack Wilshere is on the bench. Jared Bowen and Exonde Silva. So the young striker I was hoping to see, Odebeko. He doesn't feature at all, which is a bit disappointing. I don't think it's the strongest bench in the world, though, if I'm honest with you, guys. I know we've got Bowen on there, but apart from that, we were getting beat, or we were struggling to win. Bar Bowen, I know Jack Wilshere is obviously a good player, but I'm not sure he could come on and win us the game, if you know what I mean. Whereas Bowen, there's only one I'd have confidence. And coming on, I don't really want to see Bowen involved, if I'm honest with you. The bench is a bit inexperienced, if you like, and quite defensive.
I think Cole Moyes an old softy, he is an old softy when he's delivering vegetables to the to the poor and infirm, certainly. So I think his sentimentality's got the better of him here, and he's included Bowen on there because obviously you can't take non-featuring squad members into the ground and stuff like that. So I think maybe Bowen is being drafted in because it's his old club, and he'll be able to meet and say hello to some of the people that he knows well in the
I
squad in the
don't
tunnel.
think David Moyes picks Jared Bowen because he's playing Hull City, so Jared Bowen can come in and say hello to these players.
Well, not just that. I think he's picking him because it's his former club. I do.
I don't know. I mean, half this Hull players wouldn't have been there when Jared Bowen was there because they got relegated. Most of the teams, I think, a large portion of the teams had to leave.
Well, David Moyes wouldn't know that because he only knows about players in the Championship, and they're obviously League One.
Right, the Hull City team will rattle through this. They've done a charting on me here, Gonzo. It's all in numerical order, so I can't read out. I might be a way to
make it up.
I might be a way to read out the striker first. George Long is the goalkeeper.
Yeah.
And then we've got Louis Coyle, Richie Smallwood, Dan Batty. I know he's a centre midfielder. James Scott, Alfie Jones, Sean McLaughlin, Brandon Fleming, Thomas Mayer, Josh McGuinness. I know he's a striker. And Callum Jones. Reece Burke is on the bench, as is Martin Samuelson, the two ex-West Ham players on the bench. But there's definitely a few changes because there's no George Honeyman there, who is the one player that stood out for me as a Hull player, if you like. So I think they've had a little rotation. Do you want a couple of Hull City?
Couple of Hull City what?
Supporter reactions.
Yes, please.
They're not very happy.
Oh.
Yeah.
It must be McLaughlin. And they're not happy McLaughlin's included.
They're not very happy. They don't seem... Connor Barlow _ does not seem too happy that George Long and McGuinness is starting. He's put up a funny meme to say this is rubbish. Then Andrew Davies, a West Ham fan, has replied to this and said, is this your strong team or not? I know you're League One, but no idea. And a Hull City fan has replied, saying, it's not our strongest team, but it's all right. He said, Wilkes and Lewis Potter are our two best players in the Leeds game. They're not even playing them. He's not even playing those games. Yeah, there's a lot of Hull fans. They're not too happy. They're doing their old memes, the Neil Warnock one with his hands on his head and stuff. They're posting that kind of stuff at the lineup. They're not overly optimistic.
I'm glad he had his hands on his head.
Right. Before we get into the... Actually, give me your final thoughts. What's your thoughts on the lineup? You happy? Should have enough, shouldn't we?
Yeah, looking forward to it. I mean, that's obviously it's a bit of a... I mean, you talk about demotivating. That's going to be demotivating for Hull, really, if their two best players in the previous game aren't even featuring.
I actually think he's done the opposite. I think Grant McCann's maybe done according to this one fan on Twitter, that is. He could be lying for all we know. We're going to give this guy a bit of kudos, this Hull City fan. Assume he's talking, and he's a good evaluator of the game. He's actually done the opposite of David Moyes and Grant McCann. Grant McCann said to those two players, you were really good against Leeds. You're not playing this cup game. You're now in the league game. You're now getting promoted, if you like. Whereas Moyes said, you were really good against Charlton. So your reward is to start the next game in the cup, which is against Hull City. So I think perhaps Grant McCann's done something that the commenter on the YouTube channel was referring to a little bit, which is reward your best performers.
Yeah, look, maybe he has, maybe he hasn't. Nonetheless, it would still be bad form if David Moyes can't get the better of Grant McCann, as much as we like him being ex-West Ham and all of that sort of thing. Yeah, I mean, you've got to be confident. Yarmolenko should be head and shoulders above anyone in this game. Let's be fair. You said it before in the last game. Sebastian Haller should be the best player that any of these players have ever come up against. A £45 million striker with European pedigree and so on and so forth. So let's get that right. Lanzini should be one of the best players on the park. Anderson should be running past them like they're not there. And it should be a relatively easy evening for Elise there. That's how it should go. But it's the League Cup, and as I say, I've seen enough in my time. Seeing West Ham being knocked out by clubs that we should probably beat to know that it ain't a foregone conclusion. We need an early start and an early goal. Goal in the first 15 minutes calms the nerves and we win handsomely.
Yeah, I think so as well. We've got the attitude right. The players turn up tonight. We should win. We've got a ridiculously strong team out there. The one thing I noticed is when you look at our team, and bear in mind this is what you would consider our second team at present compared to some other Premier League's second 11 so far in the Cup, you do look at it and think our squad depth's maybe not as bad as you would first assume, if you like. I think there's patches in there. You wouldn't want Cullen and Snodgrass to be lining up together in a Premier League game, for example, in the centre of the pitch. But last season, that front four could have easily been our front four in a Premier League game. Yarmolenko, Lanzini, Anderson, and Sebastian Haller. And we wouldn't have flinched. We would have said, yeah, that's it. That's our first team front four. And they're now playing in the League Cup against Hull. Balbuena and Diop were our first choice pairing the season before last. So this is not a poor team. A good couple of youngsters in there. Cullen, he's not young anymore, but you know what I mean. Ben Johnson, Elise. So it's a nice mixture between experience and a couple of youngsters. And I just hope that if we are winning comfortably, we see a couple of youngsters on a bit earlier this week round just to see what they've got. Right, we're going to have a quick little bet now. So if you're in the live chat, this is where you get the chance to win some dough. Now, the winnings won't be as big tonight because you can't bet on player cards, which is what boosts the odds. So I'm thinking we go for a little scorecast. I think we'll keep it simple. The winnings will be less, but I think it'll be a bit more basic. What score are you thinking?
I was thinking goal scorers, names some goal scorers.
Okay, we'll do that then.
Well, I think Haller's is going to score. It's just whether he scores twice or not. I don't know if that's him to score twice gives you good odds.
Okay. Put in West Ham to win, obviously.
Yeah.
Are you fancying us to keep a clean sheet?
Yes, I am.
Let's see if I can get that in there. Under 1 goal in the match. For Hull, yep, okay. Anyone else a score? Or what about the correct score? Do you fancy the correct score?
No, I think it's too risky.
Do you think we'll score at least 3 then?
Yeah, I just think if you do correct score, the bet and we go past it early on, the bet's over too quickly, whereas Haller could get his second at some point throughout the game. I don't know. Go on, go on. You tell me what you think.
Right, we've got Sebastian Haller to score 2 or more, West Ham to win, Hull not to score, West Ham to score at least 3 goals. It's 9-1. It's not juicy odds, but it's 50 quid, isn't it?
9-1. It's
well, it's because it's
go on. It would have to be, wouldn't it?
Yeah, £50 then. Okay, so what's the phrase?
Oh my goodness. Oh dear. Hold on. I've got to I'll tell you what. Just nice and simple, nothing dirty, nothing saucy, no innuendo. Haribo cups.
Okay, there you go. Get that in the live chat. Get your comment in the live chat to enter. If that bet comes in, someone will win £50 cash.
I've got it. I've changed my mind.
What?
I've got a whole nut.
Okay, so you have to put in the live chat. I've got a whole nut.
I've got a whole nut.
If you're in the live chat, I've got a whole nut to enter the bet. West Ham win. Haller scores 2 goals and Hull do not score. We will give £50 to someone that says, I've got a whole nut. Anyway, I'll tell you what, Gonzo, I'm quite looking forward tonight. I'm pleased to see Elise starting. I would have preferred him centre back, but beggars can't be choosers. I like the fact he's put in Elise to an extent rather than putting Creswell Masuaku in. It does say to Masuaku, you're now in the first 11. You're now starting against Wolves. So Masuaku can relax a little bit. Neither of them are on the bench tonight. I think Bowen's the only one on the bench that started against Arsenal. So I think we can expect to see 0 changes against Wolves, going by what we've just seen for the lineup tonight. Anyone you're looking forward to in particular?
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing Bowen give the whole kit man a cuddle. Aside from that, I am looking forward to, well, at least that's got to be a good one, isn't it? There's no doubt about it. Because I hadn't seen the other one play. That's the one I watched. I didn't really watch the Wickham game, which Batiste played in that one. So, it's the only one I know anything about. Looking forward to seeing him play Cullen again, actually. I think if Cullen has another performance, a sort of man-of-the-match type performance like he did against Charlton, I think there's immense pressure. You put back-to-back man-of-the-match performances together, then really it's actually not up to Josh Cullen to justify anything anymore. It's actually up to David Moyes to justify why Josh Cullen's not part of the first-team squad. So that's going to be really interesting. I said Lanzini last time. I want to see... So he scored a header now, and he scored a long shot in pre-season and in cup games, Felipe Anderson. I want to see Felipe Anderson get on the score sheet or get some assists tonight. I want to see a really top-class Felipe Anderson tonight.
Anderson for me as well. I want to see the second half Anderson tonight from the start. Against Charlton, I still think he wasn't great in the first half, but the second half I thought he was fantastic. But my concern is, I'll keep saying it again and again until I'm proven wrong. He only turns up when we're winning. he needs to turn up and make us start winning games rather than just wait until someone else does the job, then think, all right, I'll come in. It's almost like the John Terry lifting the cup thing. He watched his 11 teammates win the cup and ran on with his strip on and lifted the trophy as if he just won the cup. No, you've turned up at the end, mate. You haven't won it. Those boys on the pitch have won it. I just feel like Anderson did that against Charlton a little bit. Watched Yarmolenko and Sebastian Aller and Josh Cullen run around doing all the tippy-tappy stuff. Watched Snodgrass putting in a shift and working his arse off while he strolled about. Then we were 2-0 up and comfortable. Then he started playing, and when he started playing, he was fantastic. But I'd like to see that Felipe Anderson from the first minute tonight. Whoever Hull right back is, I don't know his name, whoever it is, should get turned.
McLaughlin.
It might be McLaughlin. He should be getting turned outside in tonight from the start. But anyway, there's some rumours there could be a late change to our starting 11.
Oh blimey! You're spoiling us this evening.
So there's nothing from the official West Ham account as yet, but that would insinuate there's possibly been an injury in the warm-up. Who's got injured in the warm-up?
How can you get injured doing a stretch?
I mean, if Wiltshire was starting, I think we'd all know where we'd put our money.
Okay,
I'd be on Bet365. Wiltshire to not start the game despite being in the starting line.
Wiltshire injured while stretching. Yes, there you go. That might have that answered the question. Oh dear.
So yeah, that's we'll have to wait and see. But we're going to start disappearing, myself and Gonzo. We're going to disappear in a couple of minutes. However, Charlie and Tom will be live in a couple of minutes after us with our watch along, and they'll tell you if there's late changes to the team. But it's not ideal though. I mean, how does this change? Just quickly, how does this change Moyes' setup? It depends who it is, of course. But
if it's a striker, well, did we have a striker? Oh, Silva.
Yeah, if it's Allaire, then you're sort of in trouble a little bit. But if it was Allaire, what would you do? Put Yarmolenko up front and bring in Bowen?
Well, I guess you'd have to do something, or maybe just put Bowen up front. But no, I mean that would not be great. That would not be great. Obviously, one of the two central midfielders you can handle because you've got Coventry and you've got Wilshere there. So, ideally, that's the sort of best position.
Hang on. News coming through. There's been some late changes. Issa Diop and Josh Cullen are now replaced by Harrison Ashby and Jack Wilshere.
What the? This is unprecedented for a preview, for a build-up show.
Yes. So this is breaking. This is genuine breaking news. It's the official accounts tweeted it. I'll show the people rather than Gonzo. The official West Ham account tweeted this. This isn't me. There have been late changes to our starting lineups now. Issa Diop and Josh Cullen will be replaced by Harrison Ashby, Jack Wilshere, starting 11. David Martin is now promoted to the bench, which would insinuate that we're going to have one player less on the bench now. This would mean, I assume, that Alisi's now going to go into centre-back with Balbuena. Yeah. Ashby will play left-back or right-back with Johnson switching over.
Yeah, Johnson left-back, Ashby right-back.
And Jack Wilshere is just going to be a straight swap for Josh Cullen.
I like it. I don't mind. It's a shame. It's a shame for Cullen. I mean, I'm not going to read... unless the two of them have run into each other... in the warm up, the chance of two of them getting injured, maybe they're both just going to feature. Maybe it's good news. Maybe Cullen's featuring for the
how can they
team against Wolves.
How can they both get injured?
Well, I was saying they might run into each other, falling over each other or something. I don't know. That's what makes it. It's highly unlikely that they both get injured in a warm-up. I'll tell you what, if they have, whoever's devised a warm-up routine needs sacking, quite frankly. Probably Karen Brady, wasn't it, really? So, I think...
Tell you what, we'll start a rumour. Imagine a big bid's just come in for Diop.
Oh, I like that.
Imagine David Moyes has just got a phone call from David Sullivan saying, Dave, 40 million's just coming for Diop from Tottenham, because it is Spurs apparently. There was rumours in Spurs Twitter that they're after a centre back that doesn't play for a top 6 side in the Premier League and he's not homegrown. Now, process of elimination leaves us a Diop because you rule out Tarkowski, you rule out Lewis Dunk because of the homegrown thing. That only really leaves Diop. You rule out Connor Cody as well, but Could you imagine Sullivan's just ran Dave Boy says, Dave, mate, you're going to have to change your lineup. Diop's off.
We've accepted a bid.
Get him out of that team now.
And by the way, Declan's not playing on Saturday either. Or Sunday, whatever it is. I don't even know.
Get them off the pitch right now. So this is well, that's a bit of drama, isn't it?
That's tomorrow's video sorted, I'd say.
It could be, again, this is just speculation, but it could be due to coronavirus or something. I don't know when the club are due to get results or something. I'd be very shocked if it was half an hour before kick-off that they get the results in. But this is proper West Ham, isn't it? Two changes.
Yeah, now I'm excited. Now I'm excited.
We all know what Moyes is getting asked at full time.
I can't see the chat, but I bet it's getting mental.
They're all wondering. A lot of people are buying into that Diop's being sold off. They're all joking, saying that's it, they're off.
You started the rumour.
I just put two together. I might be coming up with 4, and I might be coming up with 6.
I like it.
I don't know. Well, Jack Wilshere playing a centre midfield, though. I mean, this is like, I'm surprised he was on the bench, to be honest with you, Gonzo. I was sort of accepting that he's off skis, but now Jack Wilshere's coming. Arguably, I don't know about to say our team's got stronger. I don't think it has, actually. We've now got 3 kids in the back 4.
Yeah, yes. Have you done that bet already? But they're not conceding.
Yeah, so if you're just tuning in, our back 4 is now Ashby, Johnson, Alisi, and Fabian Balbuena. So a lot of pressure on Balbuena tonight, all of a sudden, with 3 youngsters.
With Jack Wilshere sitting in front of him. What could go wrong?
And Snodgrass. Fancying a whole upset now. But I don't know, it's just a bit of a strange thing, isn't it? The fact that they've been pulled out of the lineup so late on. Just checking, but I don't think the club haven't tweeted anything. I find the wording of the club's tweets different, actually. There's been some late changes. There's nothing about injuries, because normally they'd put Josh Cullen and Issa Diop have been injured in the pre-match warm-up and will be replaced by, wouldn't they? You just naturally do it, wouldn't you? Or am I reading too much into it?
No, I don't think so. No, I don't think
I think if you. When was the last time one of our players got injured in a pre-match warm-up? Can you think of one?
I really don't.
It doesn't happen very often, does it? Never mind 2 of them.
No.
Because I really say you can go check the wording on that tweet and see what they wrote. I reckon if they were injured, they would put out these 2 players have been injured and therefore there's been late changes.
So Diop's been sold to Spurs and Josh Cullen's driving him there.
To be fair, Matt Gidman makes a very good point. He says some idiot from the media team probably messed up the graphic. The first one they put out. Someone's going, that's not the best.
Yeah, it's going to be the team coach is stuck on the motorway in Wiltshire. He's just got completely confused.
Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, big opportunity for Ashby. I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna pretend. I didn't never heard of Ashby until this summer.
No, I hadn't heard of Ashby until he came to the pitch the other day. So how's that for you? But in the 10 minutes that I saw, I liked what I saw. I thought he looked pretty good. Yes, against Charlton.
Do you want even more drama? We're really throwing a curveball in here.
Yes, I want this preview to be going way past the final whistle.
Yeah, I have.
It's just this is where the action is, not the game.
I had to text Charlie and Tom, telling them to hold off. They were due to go live 5 minutes ago, so I said, "Whoa, you're gonna have to hold off. We got some news here."
Definitely.
Ex-West Ham employees. He also got tweeted saying, "What's the reason for this?" Ex-West Ham employee wrote, "Not for me to say." Now he could be sitting on the fence. He could be pretend like he maybe doesn't know and he's sitting on the fence, or he does know something.
Well, maybe he doesn't know. There is that, of course. What we need is a current West Ham employee who it is for them to say and them to tell us, because really it's their job to tell us, isn't it? Really, let's be fair.
I'll tell you what.
Maybe he doesn't. Maybe he knows something we don't know. Maybe you're right. Maybe.
I'll tell you what.
Who knows?
We kind of accepted 2 bids in the space of 5 minutes, can't we? We've definitely not had a.
Hey, because anything. Of course we can. This is West Ham. Anything.
We've not been able to get a bid for Felipe Anderson all summer. There's no way we've suddenly accepted 2 bids in the space of
No, people can buy our players. It's us that can't buy other players. You're confused.
People can't even buy our players. We can't sell them.
We can. We've sold 3, so we can certainly sell another 2. It's buying them that's the problem. So
I just hope it's. I don't think it can't be the bid thing. Not both of them. But to be fair, X has now just said it's not transfer related. So my guess would be it's COVID related. My guess would be there's something funny with the COVID, or perhaps they've had a bust up. Maybe I don't know. Maybe the two of them.
Maybe it's like a Wayne Bridge and John Terry type thing going on with a pair of them.
So Josh Collins just shagged Diop's missus?
You never know. Strange. During the warm-up.
Or do you think Diop has shagged Josh Collins' missus?
And then caught COVID, and then things got so bad he had to sign for Tottenham.
Oh, this is why Diop should have worn a mask if he was shagging Josh Collins' missus.
You got to wear a mask when shagging.
This is what Boris has been going on about. Wear a mask.
Of course it is. You're not socially distanced if you're shagging.
Maybe one of them's done a Zaha.
What did Zaha do? I get
That's
confused.
Patrice Evra.
Oh, of course. Yes, he did. Sorry. Yes.
Allegedly.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, blimey. No, that would be... Crikey. That would be too much. That's too much gossip.
What could it be? We'll start rounding this up in a minute before Tom and Charlie go, right, what could it be? It's COVID, or they've had a fight, or they're both injured.
Or transfer.
It's not. I don't think it'll be transfers. You can't have both of them.
You can't take it off. They can't take that off the table.
It's
transfers.
It's not.
COVID. Accident. Fornication, but not with a fornicator.
I don't know. Where was it? Irish Tommy says they had a threesome with David Moyes' daughter.
There we go. That's what you were more or less saying.
I think so. What are we going to call ourselves? We're going to have to be in the know now. I mean, to be fair, Diop was in the daughter by the sounds of it, but...
What's the abbreviation for? I haven't got a clue. I don't know. Anyway, we're not ITKs.
No, we're not. Anyway, there we go. The team lineup tonight, just to confirm from memory, is Randolph in goal, a back four of Ashby, Balbuena, Alisi and Ben Johnson. Midfield 2 of Robert Snodgrass and Jack Wilshere, and a 3 in behind Sebastian Elliott, Felipe Anderson, Andre Yarmolenko and Manuel Lanzini. It's coronavirus related, by the way.
Is it really?
So. Yeah, it's coming through on my phone now. They're not fit to play after a test that all players...
Well, I'll tell you what. If 2 of our players in the squad have got it, then I'll be amazed if there aren't more positive tests.
I'm surprised the game's gone ahead. I'm surprised. If it is COVID related, I am genuinely surprised that this game's going ahead, because between them getting tested, they've gone and done a warm up. They've gone and been with the players all day, and now the players they've been with have been tested yesterday. But since then, they've been interacting with players that have had COVID. This game I'll be surprised if it is COVID related. I'm not sure the game can go ahead, Gonzo. I think it's a bit irresponsible, to be honest. I don't think it's fair on Hull City either for all their players.
You're absolutely right there. You're absolutely right, and this brings into play other things. You know, how prevalent is this going to be coming out? I mean, I digress. But the whole year 8 of my daughter's school got sent home today because they had one student that's tested positive. I wonder how many fixtures are going to get cancelled out. Obviously, subjects for another day, but very, very interesting. I preferred the shagging one.
To be clear, it's all speculation. It might not be COVID related or anything. It could just be David Moyes has decided. David Moyes has maybe looked at the whole lineup and thought, "Is that it? I don't need to risk Diop for this one. I don't need to risk Josh Cullen. I'm going to take them out and I'm going to put in Wiltshire and Ashby. Maybe that's all there is to it. But."
So as they can get COVID.
Yeah, we will find out. We will find out after the game from David Moyes what it is and stuff. But it added a little bit of drama to the.
It's nice, proper build-up show. This one.
Anyway, we are going to disappear now. 10 minutes late. Charlie and Tom are going to be live 10 minutes late, but that's my fault. That's my fault anyway. Gonzo, I shall see you at full time. Should there be a game?
Oh, you're full of it. You're very saucy this evening, may I say. You're very. God, blimey, you're right on the edge this evening,
well,
Geo. I'll tell you what, a lot of bombshells.
If it is the C word, then Diop's out for the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, but if there is a game this evening. A lot can happen in the next half
Well, in the last half hour, 2 players just got pulled down to start 11. Right, so hopefully there's a game. Tom and Charlie are going live in a second. We'll catch you in a bit.